Hi, and hello, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it is time for another tier list video where we go over the top 10 songs of a given year according to Billboard Music. We are doing that now for the year 2001. We did all the 2010s. We did the year 2000, and now we're going through that decade. And this should be pretty fun because there are some real classics in this batch, and I enjoy quite a few of them. I was anticipating that a lot of my thoughts on this era of music would be quite negative. I thought like a lot of what was in kind of these top 10 spots would have aged very poorly. But I'm finding that not to so much be the case. Because as you can see, we are starting the list off strong with Destiny's Child, Independent Women Part 1. If you guys remember the 2000 video, they pretty much topped the list. Yeah, they are pretty much doing so in this video as well. As Independent Women Part 1 is the track. And yeah, this is a fantastic one. This is easily one of the group's most popular singles. Many may remember it as having kind of a tie-in to the Charlie's Angels movie that dropped at the time, but still, it is a fire standalone track outside of the context of that film. All the honeys make a mother. It's such a fucking banger. It's clean, it's punchy, it's memorable, it's fun. It's obviously, quite aspirational and inspirational, depending on, if you identify with the perspective of the track too. And yeah, just all around really good cut. Are there some moments where I think the production is a little dry? Has it aged as perfectly as it could? Maybe not, but still a pretty fantastic track. I would put this in the A row quite handily. Next, we have Mr. Lenny Kravitz with the song Again. Lenny is responsible for quite a few great hits, in my opinion, during this era of time. Some annoying ones. Again is a track that to me in the Lenny catalog does not really stand out, does not really withstand the test of time. There's not really any interesting guitar work on this track. I don't think there's a standout chorus on the song either. The production is quite washed out as well. It's just kind of a very, reverb heavy, just a very mushy kind of rock ballad without anything sort of hard or exciting going on in it. It's not awful while it's on, but it's not super memorable or special in my opinion either. All right, here's a big one we got coming up. Look out. It is Dido with Thank You. Yeah, amazing pop track. Really unique track as well. And obviously, everybody remembers the Eminem tie-in as well, off the Marshall Mathers LP. But before this song was its own standalone song. And it's a great one. I think this track reflects kind of a really cool cross-section of late 90s, early 2000s music where you did kind of have these fusions of pop and singer-songwriter music, but hip-hop as well. And I think Dido's Thank You is really like at the top of the pile as far as like those kinds of crossovers go. Song structure is there, standout melodies and chorus are there, the verses are as intriguing as the hooks. We have recently been talking about some songs in these videos suffering from like sucky verse syndrome where the verses bring nothing to the table whatsoever and they're just there as like a placeholder to bore you into a lull until the chorus hits. That is very much not the case for Thank You. This song is just like fire and engaging and just getting you in your feels, really deep in the feels from beginning to end. Love this one, love this one, love this one. One of, I think, the most perfect chart toppers of this decade. I would put this pretty easily in the S row. All right, next, this is a song that a lot of younger viewers may not remember, but anybody my age, we know this one was popping off at the high school dance with Gwen Stefani on the chorus. But even if you're not familiar with this song, Eve's Let Me Blow Your Mind, there is something about it that will be instantaneously familiar to a lot of you. The guitar lick, that beep, 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 You've most likely heard that guitar lick already, and you will instantly recognize it in a more slowed down fashion on this track. So yeah, that's technically two things that song is ruining. That cool ass guitar lick, and also, by trying to ride Doja Cat's coattails. But this Eve track is a great little, pop, hip hop and R&B fusion. Production is punchy. Chorus is there. Eve is not like the strongest vocalist on the planet, I will say that, and Gwen Stefani, doesn't come off as the strongest vocalist on the track either, but the hooks are there, the melodies are there, standout bars right from the get-go on the opening of the track, and it just makes you want to dance. It's a nice, clubby, poppy track that, again, had the high school dances going crazy. This track was really good, even if there are some elements of it that I feel like could have been improved upon. I'm feeling a very solid B on this one. Now we are moving on to the Matchbox 20 boys with If You're Gone. Yeah, this one's boring. I just don't really feel like any of the material, especially the singles from their Mad Season album cycle, stand up to anything from yourself or someone like you. I just don't think that they do. And I'm not even really crazy about that album, but I can still give it to a song like 3 a.m. I cannot give it to this track. Sorry, Rob and the boys. J-Lo, Miss Jennifer Lopez, with a very popular song that she had out during this era, the I'm Real Murder remix featuring none other than Ja Rule. A lot of people who are in their 30s most likely remember the hell out of this track. Had a very memorable chorus, some great lead lines as well. But, and this was always the case since this song had dropped and is even more so apparent now that we have hindsight, the vocals on this track are mid as hell. The singing is not that great. I mean, Ja Rule has never been a great singer. I mean, Ja Rule has kind of consistently been one of the biggest surprise stories to me in the music industry as a guy who I think has always been mediocre as a rapper, mediocre as a singer. How he made it as far as he did, I really have no idea. But I mean, I don't really think J-Lo is a super standout vocalist either. J-Lo is no Madonna. She's no Janet Jackson. She's no list any number of other pop stars that have more interesting things going on artistically. I'm Real is at least a decent song as far as like the tune and the writing and the production goes. Yeah, but there's not really much else to it. It's just kind of okay. Now, for anybody who remembers the 2000s, you knew this track was coming up. That would be Train's Drops of Jupiter. Gotta beat it out the Milky Way. Woo! Drops of Jupiter is easily one of the corniest written fucking rock ballads of the 2000s. There's really no debating that. Even if you enjoy the song, it's corny as hell. These guys were Maroon 5ing before Maroon 5 was fully Maroon 5ing. But look, I will say this. The song is damn catchy, and it's pretty well sung as well. I mean, it does give off big, sour, bad, rancid, corny, douchebag rock band vibes, but it is a damn catchy song. So even if there is a part of it that does sort of gross me out, I do respect it for being so well written and accessible and infectious. So I'll put it in the C row begrudgingly. It's got like B level writing, but then also like E level vibes. Maybe I'll smidge it down just a touch. There you go. It's just barely inching over into the B. All right, coming up next in the list, we have Janet Jackson with For You, which is a sparkling, danceable, fun, glamorous little pop number with great vocals, great lush and pretty production. Pretty, that's really like, I think the word you can boil this song down to. It's just a pretty, beautiful, sweet, and nothing more, nothing less, kind of pop tune, done with taste, done with class, as you would sort of expect from someone of Janet's profile and experience at this point in her career. Even though artistically and creatively, this may not have been like the strongest album cycle for Janet in her entire career. I obviously, very much have more favoritism toward projects like Velvet Rope. There were still good tracks to come out of this era, this being one of them. I would put this in the B row pretty handily, definitely better than Train. Following this, we have Alicia Keys with Fallen. Woo! I think the material that came out of the following album cycle from here was a lot stronger. And the tune at the core of Fallen, I think it's pretty decent. It's pretty solid, but the singing isn't as strong as it would be just a couple years later in Alicia's recordings, and the production on this track is really not all that great either. Has super not aged very well, especially when it comes to the drums and perks. They just sound so stiff and awkward. While it's no You Don't Know My Name, while it's no If I Ain't Got You, it's still a good solid track. I would put it in the C row. Again, solidly written, but production I think is really kind of holding it back in terms of its full potential. But you know, it obviously helped get her where she is today. Last song in our list, that would be the Lifehouse song by A Moment. I actually forgot about this track. I don't even know with you. You may not even assume that's the chorus of this track, because obviously Hanging by a Moment, I mean, that's you know, that's like the key spot of the song, and Hanging by a Moment isn't the key lyric of the track. But look, I will say this. It is a well-written little alternative rock song that has some interesting details in it, as far as like some bits of guitar noise here, some strings. You kind of have like that very, very low harmonized note in the bass line that pops in on the chorus. That's you know, very odd, but also cool. There's some interesting instrumental palette shifts across the track that you don't normally hear in a lot of alt rock songs, especially ones that would, you know, rank up in the charts this high. I do think the chorus goes hard, and I think the verses are solid as well. And while the track is melodramatic and does kind of have that, you know, douchey alt rock guy vocal thing going on, it's not pushed to the point where it's so annoying to where I can't listen to it. It's actually kind of enjoyable. Again, not the most unique thing that you're going to hear, but for what it is well produced, written, composed, and put together. Not hacky or tasteless or anything like that, in my opinion. It's a pretty solid song as far as like anything in this genre goes that reached this level of popularity. I would put this in the B row, as I think it's pretty good. Reflecting on that, it makes me want to inch Train down even lower. Not a bad year. Let me know your thoughts on these tracks down in the comments below. You guys are the best. Love you. Over here next to my head is another video you can check out. Hit that up, or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, 2001, forever.